Hi everyone, I hope everyone is surviving this whole COVID-19 situation and online learning. Today we'll be talking about Microsoft. This presentation was prepared by Team 4, which includes Hannah, Trevor, and both Lawrence. A quick introduction to Microsoft. We'll keep this brief because everyone knows what Microsoft is. Our mission is to empower every person and organization on the planet to achieve more. Our vision is to help people and their businesses throughout the world realize their full potential. Some quick numbers on Microsoft's performance from last year is going to be $39.2 billion in net income, and then we are worth $1.1 trillion and operate in 210 countries. Microsoft segments their operations into three categories. We have intelligent cloud, productivity and business processes, and personal computing. To start off, we're going to talk about the more personal computing, which is 36% of their total revenue. Throughout all three segments, you're going to see that the revenue is split pretty equally. So the products included in this is going to be the Windows operating system, Bing, Surface, tablets and computers, and also Xbox. Up next, we have the productivity and business processes. This is going to be 33% of our total revenue. So this is going to include LinkedIn and then also Office. So Office includes Word, Docs. It also includes Excel, PowerPoint, Skype, Teams, OneDrive. As we all know, this being business students. Lastly, we have intelligent cloud, which is going to be 31% of our total revenue. But overall, this is going to be the part that grows the most in the future. This includes Azure, which is like a cloud system, Visual Studio, Power BI, and GitHub. This is made to make systems for professionals and developers more productive and efficient. Now we're going to talk about the Porter's 5 forces. To start off, we have threat of new entrants, which is going to be low. This is because the cost for companies to operate an R&D to innovate before us, and then also switching costs for the consumers, since technology and software overall gets extremely expensive. Next, we have the threat of substitute, which is going to be a moderate force. This is because while there are multiple system types, the loyalty are to the programs that Microsoft offers. Therefore, if someone has an Apple, they are able to use the Office software and be able to do docs even though they're on an Apple iOS system. Then we have the power of suppliers. This is going to be low because of the brand power that we have, and a lot of suppliers want to be able to get a part of the revenue. Then we have the power of buyers, which is going to be a moderate force. This is because customer relationships are key in our industry. We have to build loyalty to our softwares and make sure that they're happy using them because they can switch if need be. Lastly, we have the rivalry, which is overall a high force. This is because the amount of companies in the tech industry is extremely high, and the amount of money in tech industry is extremely high. This is a very fast-paced market, making innovation key to success, meaning that you have to always be developing more and you're always replaceable. Now looking at the business level strategy of Microsoft, we decided that it's going to be integrated cost leadership and differentiation. This is because Microsoft makes sure that everything is available on a good price point, but also innovates constantly. Our resources involve having the cross-platform softwares, brand image, talented human resources, a wide product portfolio, and overall our partnership network. So in the low point, we have Apple. This is because they have a more narrow scope of who their consumer is. Overall, 70% of their revenue comes from iPhone. These are all physical devices that they have, not software systems that we have. While they might have innovation as well, it's overall a different consumer in different market because that is not our main product. Next, we have IBM. This is because hardware in other tech companies is their main focus. Their market is primarily fields looking to innovate mechanically and even invented the ATM. Then we have Amazon. Amazon is surprisingly here just because they have a very broad market like us, and because their resources have less resource similarity because theirs are more primarily retail based, while ours are more productivity based, but they are also one of the leading cloud competitions while looking at the overall industry. Next, we have Google. So Google has a very broad market and very high resource similarity. Now we're going to look at acquisitions. Our acquisitions are usually related, and we have 227 in total. Looking at the largest acquisitions in Microsoft's history, we have LinkedIn, GitHub, Skype, Nokia, and some other ones. Overall, having 227 has made it clear that government interference is going to happen to large tech companies coming up soon. This is because they believe that there is going to be a monopoly and not all acquisitions were fair. Looking at the international strategy, we're transitional. This is because while our product and softwares are extremely standardized, we do change it for the climate. So therefore, we have multiple different locations, changing it for their regions just to meet language barriers, cultural barriers, and whatever else needs to change for that market. To look at the locations, here is this map. Looking at the overall technology industry, it's an extremely fast-paced market. Tech companies are constantly needing to innovate and be first to market to be able to reach anywhere. Next, we're going to look at Microsoft's cooperative strategies, which are usually strategic alliances on all levels. For their overall network, they have a partnership network which enables small, medium, and large businesses to have a community of suppliers and its overall community of professionals. But overall, in the partners network is going to be 64,000 partners. Next, we're going to talk about the value creation diversification. We use both operational and corporate relatedness for diversification. For the governance mechanisms, we're firstly publicly traded, regulated by the SEC, and have shareholders. Then we have our board of directors, which we are proudly to say is extremely diverse. We also have senior leaders for every single different business type, operation, and department. Next, we're going to look at major shareholders. The first major shareholder is going to be Steve Ballmer. He owns 4% of Microsoft in total. He was a former CEO. Next, we have Bill Gates. Being one of the founders of Microsoft, he owns 1.3%. Now, this is because he donated most of his shares. Our third largest shareholder is going to be our current CEO, which only holds 0.1% overall. This is because most of the largest shareholders are actually different firms. For our leadership, we have a strategic change. An example, we have the quote, "Our industry respects innovation, not tradition." At Microsoft, we aspire to have a living learning culture with the growth mindset that allows us to learn from ourselves and our customers. These are the key attributes of the new culture at Microsoft. This is just touching how the new CEO has hit restart on Microsoft. So now we're going to look at the organizational corporate structure, which is multidivisional. We have the CEO, board of directors, and senior leadership who all work together. Overall, the CEO works with engineering and business functions. Usually, this is where senior leadership comes in, saying that they are representation of their segment. With that being said, the senior leadership usually goes from engineering, which is going to be all your R&D, and then business functions, which is finance, legal, operations, international business, and the 3 different segments for their operations are separated. To touch on now we're going to look at Microsoft for their ethical values. To look at this, we looked at their corporate social responsibility report. Firstly, they value philanthropy. This philanthropy is usually aimed at underdeveloped countries, different industries, and so on. This is because Bill Gates owns a nonprofit to help these communities be developed, and also the new culture within Microsoft. One of their values is inclusivity, which is going to involve making sure that they're not only diverse in culture, but also make sure that they are developing for people that have disabilities. Next, we have education. Education is overall important to them, always having innovation in education and being able to educate worldwide. Then we have healthcare for all. This is half in evolving the healthcare in America and also half evolving the overall healthcare worldwide. They are building hospitals, training doctors, and etc. Next, we have environment. They are very focused on making sure that they lessen their environmental harm. All right, so the first recommendation we're going to look at is going to be automotive innovation. So currently our automotive partnerships is working with Nissan, Volkswagen, Audi, Ford, Porsche, and Toyota. We're overall working on the software involved in automation. The issues with the software is going to be the environment and security, which we will go over. With security, it's mainly cybersecurity. The fears are a loss of control of the car or data collection. Either hackers are going to hack the car and have the ability to determine where the car is headed to, or you'll have data collection for companies to sell and privacy to be broken. For the environment, we have signal detection because of a lack of being able to detect all signals, and the weather. So this is an example of how an AI car sees. Therefore, if there is snow on the ground, it's unable to see the road. If the road is not paved well, it is unable to see that. And there's also multiple risk factors. So overall, the government response to this was actually to invest in AI. So overall, they're trying to take away the barriers and track the progress. They really know that AI has a future in this marketplace. Our opportunity is to build the software. Not just the software, but the technicality softwares of building signals in the lights to be able to tell the cars that there's a signal and if it's go, stop, yield, or where the streets are. These are going to be just little telecommunicators either in the streets or the lights. And since the government is investing, there is going to be a big chance that they partner with us, especially after they already partnered with us for our cloud intelligence. So our opportunity consists of the market worth being $24.10 billion. Now this is with all the regulations and lack of innovation that this industry has. Overall, in the next 5 years, it is going to grow 39%. Our second opportunity is going to be the first to market. There is currently not a system that will allow you to detect the lights like that from the car and be able to have security and solve all the issues that they're having. Next, recommendation 2 is going to be innovate healthcare service softwares. So our goals is to onboard and segment, enroll in personalized care plans, and monitor and coordinate. So pretty much our goals is to have AI. AI is going to be able to help diagnose the patients, track records, and use a cloud systems. So no matter what hospital you're at nationwide, you'll be able to see that patient's records and make sure that they have the correct diagnosis. The opportunity right now is the opportunity in the healthcare is going to be $180 billion for the cloud computing industry market worth. Right now, Amazon leads the pack with 39%, and we're second in line with 19%. Doctors are using cloud technology to collaborate, share files, and overall, it's saving hospitals money. They are saving money because the AI will allow them to see more patients and also decrease the amount of people that are going to be wrongly diagnosed and incorrect abuse powers with medicine. AI with healthcare, the issues are doctors are restraining and cybersecurity, especially involving HIPAA, which is going to be patient confidentiality. So to talk about this, we want to really emphasize on innovation and trust. Right now, Microsoft is offering Account Guard to all COVID-19 first responders for free. This is going to be their overall cybersecurity, which is usually only offered to a certain amount of people. This is going to increase trust with their operating systems. Next, accomplish collaboration with GE Health to create COVID-19 AI bot. This AI bot is available online and will talk to potential people with COVID-19 and be able to diagnose them without actually seeing them. But what's next? So with the COVID-19 involvement, we really want to emphasize that demand for collaboration is at an all-time high. People worldwide need to collaborate to be able to find a cure for this. This is making Microsoft have the foot in the door, providing healthcare providers not only with the AI bot, cloud services, and cybersecurity. This will establish trust in hospitals, educate the doctors about the softwares, and make sure that they know that the doctors are not being replaced, yet this is a tool for them to use. They're going to be able to demonstrate patient privacy because they're able to have cybersecurity on all the files as of now, which are going international. And overall, they've been having an increased risk due to the pandemic and people are hacking a lot. So this is just going to be demonstrating how Microsoft can protect your privacy. Overall, thank you so much for listening. And if there is any questions, please write them down on Blackboard. Have a great day.